Jeffrey Dahmer, often referred to as the Milwaukee Cannibal, is one of history's most notorious serial killers, known for the gruesome nature of his crimes. Among the many disturbing aspects of his case, one particularly chilling detail stands out: Dahmer's decision to bring a human head to his workplace and store it in his locker. During the late 1980s and early 1990s, Dahmer was employed as a mixer at the Ambrosia Chocolate Factory in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. His job involved working long, solitary shifts, often at night. But behind the routine of his daily employment lurked a horrifying secret. Dahmer's compulsion to keep mementos from his victims led him to do the unthinkable. After murdering and dismembering his victims, Dahmer would sometimes preserve certain body parts, such as skulls and internal organs. These gruesome trophies served as objects of remembrance, and in his own words, a way to feel that his victims remained with him. At the height of his killing spree, Dahmer's apartment had become a macabre storage site filled with human remains. However, his desire to remain close to his victims extended beyond his home. In a shocking act, he decided to bring a human head to work. Dahmer carefully prepared the head, drying and mummifying it in a way that minimized odor and decay. He then discreetly wrapped the remains to avoid detection and carried them in a bag to his workplace. Once at the factory, Dahmer placed the mummified head inside his employee locker. The locker was small, metal, and typically used by workers for storing personal items, lunches, or uniforms. But for Dahmer, it became a hiding place for one of his most disturbing trophies. He would periodically open the locker to gaze at the head, sometimes during his breaks or after a shift. This secret, unnerving ritual allowed him to feel a continued connection to the person he had killed, satisfying his twisted need for control and possession. Remarkably, no one at the factory suspected what Dahmer was hiding in his locker. The staff were unaware that behind the ordinary exterior of a quiet and polite coworker lay a man capable of unimaginable acts. The presence of the head in such a public, everyday setting speaks to Dahmer's audacity and his growing sense of invincibility as his crimes escalated. It also underscores the double life he led, blending into society by day while carrying out horrific acts in private. Eventually, Dahmer's crimes were uncovered, and the details of his actions, including the fact that he stored a mummified human head at work, came to light during police investigations. Investigators found that Dahmer's compulsion to keep parts of his victims was not just about remembrance, but also about power, control, and private rituals that gave him psychological satisfaction. The revelation that Dahmer kept a human head in his work locker continues to shock and horrify people to this day. It serves as a grim reminder of how some of the darkest secrets can be hidden in plain sight, and how the most unassuming individuals can sometimes harbor unimaginable horrors. If you found this story intriguing or want to learn more about true crime cases and the psychology behind them, make sure to subscribe and leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Your engagement helps us bring you more in-depth explorations into the world's most fascinating and disturbing cases.